I just want to say at the top, thank you, Wrestling Gifts, for doing this video. I appreciate it, bro. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I think you really will. We had a good discussion about the fall of WWE games, just the state of the wrestling game community at the current moment. That's enough of me. Let's kick it to my conversation with Gifts. Do you have any expectations at all for WWE 2K22? Are you even
No,
gonna play it?
yeah, I'll play it for sure. I mean, I kind of have to. It's my job, but I'm not excited for it or anything because first of all, the trailer was just, oh, here's Rey Mysterio and Cesaro. Wow, a 619. Never seen that before. Tell us some features, tell us what we're supposed to be excited for. Like, yeah, the graphics look good, but they looked perfectly fine in 2K19 and even like 17 and stuff. I'm not asking for another Here Comes the Pain or an SVR06 or something because I know it won't be like that. But yo, we just want a good game, just a good, fun, solid game. Because 2K20, yikes, that game is just infamous. People like, what game's bad when even non-wrestling fans started covering it on YouTube, just roasting it, because it just became like an actual gaming controversy.
Bro, you know it's bad when IGN gives it a bad score. Like IGN, they give everybody at least a 7. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that in one of my videos. Like, no, that's how you know it's bad. Those guys give Call of Duty the same rating every year. Like even when like Ghost came out and like the horrible Advanced Warfare, oh yeah, 9 out of 10.
uh,
Those guys will give anything 8 or 9 out of 10.
wrestling games haven't been the same since WWE 2K14. Would you agree?
Yeah, 13 and 14 were really good games, but to me, like I would go back and I love 14 because the gameplay is amazing, the customization is really cool. But yeah, for me, wrestling games were like just not hitting the same once Road to WrestleMania and Career Mode were phased out. Because that was such a big part of wrestling games for me, was doing a career mode, doing a Road to WrestleMania, a season mode, whatever you want to call it, right? But after 12, there was no Road to WrestleMania in 13 or 14, and I'm like, I don't know. Once that kind of happened, as much as I love Showcase and Universe Mode's cool, I just something felt missing once the story mode aspect went out of there.
Yeah, I would agree. Like the Attitude Era mode was awesome in WWE 13, and so was the WrestleMania mode in WWE 2K14. But it just didn't hit the same. It's like I can go watch these moments on the WWE network,
Yeah,
or
the only reason I would play them is because I'm like, well, what else am I gonna do? I want to unlock everything, so I'll play it. But there's just a different satisfaction of original storylines, like from WWE 12. When WCW comes back, or SVR06 when Teddy Long gets random. Or just like that's the whole thing about video games is I want to be myself or choose a wrestler and just be lost in the WWE universe. I hate using that term universe, but that's what I want it to be like, right? Just experience storylines as if it was real life. But instead, now the thing I said this in my 2K17 video is they don't want to give you that. Instead, they kind of like, oh, here's universe mode. Just make your own fun, make your own storylines. No, I don't. I don't want that. I want unpredictable storylines, random stuff happening. I don't know. I just need stories. I don't want to make my own stories, which I don't mind and create a story. But that's one thing I don't like about this overemphasis on universe mode. It's like, oh, you have universe mode. Just do whatever you want. No, I want to give me storylines. Like plan stuff out. Give me voice acting. Give me decisions to make. I want to be like lost in the game. It's like if I was playing like a game like I don't know Red Dead Redemption, you wouldn't. You're not gonna tell me to make my own story, right?
yeah,
Like yo,
imagine paying like $60. You're paying $60 to Rockstar, and it's like, oh, here you go. Just here's Arthur Morgan. Go
yeah,
create your own
it's
story.
like GTA, but just free roaming, which is cool for a while, but come on, man. I want to do some missions. You know what I mean? I want to get a lot. Like, I'll appreciate the game so much more if you give me a story mode. Like, yeah, I'll still have fun just doing my own thing, like free roaming in GTA. But I'm gonna be honest, like, as much fun as I had in like growing up playing San Andreas, free roaming and using cheat codes, I had just as much fun playing the missions and running around with CJ and Big Smoke and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah, and I mean that was kind of part of the raunchiness of games. Was just like the story where Rey Mysterio gets ran over by a car and he has amnesia. Like that's just
Yeah, real. I love it because I know that's never gonna happen in real life. So it's like, yo, let me have fun and do random stuff like this.
and with like SVR, there was all these fun modes. Like you could go play backlot brawls, and it was awesome. And it was good. There
Yeah,
was
I mean
stuff
that's
that
why I
kept you
love the
coming back.
SPR 06 and 07 is you had general manager mode to do whatever you want, like make your own stories in general manager mode, like universe mode. But you also had season mode, which the thing that I loved about career mode and season mode, then you had so many storylines. Like you had a separate season mode for Raw, a separate one for SmackDown. It always felt fresh. Like you wanted to keep playing it, right? Whereas now, like even in the career mode, the last one I played was 19, I think it was. It was just so like blah. Like it was just like, okay, here's a season mode because you guys want a career mode, just take it. Just have a little 5 hour playtime. But I don't understand how they can mess up season mode or career mode. How could games in 2003 get it right, but you can't do it right in like 2019?
What is the career mode? Like the 2K20 career mode, I played a little bit of it. It's like you start in NXT, you start as like a developmental wrestler. Oh, okay, cool. And then you play through and you get inducted into the Hall of Fame. But there's really no crazy storylines in between. Like if they fluffed it up and they added some crazy stuff that's better than what you see on Raw or SmackDown on live TV, and they put some of that in the game, maybe it would be playable. Like, do you see potential in career mode at all?
Bro,
Like,
it is so easy. All you gotta do is honestly just make like 3 different season modes. You know what I mean? Because that's what it used to be like in SVR06. You can choose a Raw superstar and you have the Raw season mode. You choose a SmackDown one, you have the SmackDown one. And you'll get like 10, 12 hours of content, but it's still fun. You know what I mean? But now they put this emphasis on like, oh, it's like a 15-year career mode. What's the point of wrestling jobbers for 15 years? Like, yeah, it's long, but I'm not going to gain anything. I'd rather have like 1 year dedicated of just every week cutscenes, every week development. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need 15 years. If I was in charge of the games, all I would simply do, you have 3 brands, right? Make a story mode using the NXT roster, right? So either you can choose someone in NXT and you have like a year-long season mode, or create a wrestler. And same thing with Raw. You have the Raw roster, just like 5 different storylines across the year. Same thing with SmackDown. Like it worked in 06 and 07. It's definitely going to work now. We don't need 15 years of, oh, do authority challenges or becoming a Paul Heyman guy like in 2K17. Just give us like a year of nonstop content, you know?
absolutely. And the DLC too for the current games. Like, what does the DLC really offer? You know, for like 2K19, you get a couple wrestlers, you get some add-ons for your my player, like some moves. The DLC just doesn't add anything. Like, why even why even pay for the season pass at this point, right?
Yo, I have never bought any WWE DLC and I probably never will. Like I no. No, no, no. It to me it's so useless. But it's like everything important in the game is already there. Worst case, I'll just download from community creations.
Yeah, facts. I mean, yeah, you could download anything on Community Creations. Like my nephew was playing with like Spider-Man or like Venom. Just like that's kind of cool. Like that's cooler than some of the things that I had growing up as a WWE gamer. But then you have like you get to the point where you have Venom and you're just wrestling Spider-Man and like then what? You know, like how many times can you do that over and over again? Like I can't imagine you come home like people are rushing home from school to be like, "Oh, I can't wait to download this guy from Community Creations and just play a bunch of random matches." Like it's just not much there.
Yo, the
Um,
thing is, the fun that I had the most, like playing 2K19, I know people love that game. It's like, oh, it's the best 2K game. I'm gonna be honest, I think I have like 1% of trophies on PlayStation for that. I have a lot of hours played. The fun that I have in that game wasn't in universe mode. It wasn't in whatever showcase mode they had for Daniel Bryan, I think. It was literally just downloading and making my own wrestlers and playing online with my friends, just doing like triple threats and stuff.
would you say that universe mode is ultimately like what's kind of led to the fall off of wrestling games? Like, is that one thing that you could like zone in on and say like,
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly, probably because the thing is, that's all I feel like they care about anymore. Like that's like they kind of just release a new game every year. Like, yeah, you have universe mode. Here you go. Just go do whatever you want. And just shift everything to the customer. Like here, we give you a sandbox. It's universe mode, customize, download. You guys do your thing. They don't really got to put an effort to do
right,
anything. They don't got to put an effort to make new storylines or make a proper season mode. It's like, oh, we'll make a season mode or career mode, and if you don't like it, whatever, do your own thing in universe mode. It's not the same. You know what I mean? It's not the same when you're pulling all the strings. I know some people like that. They like making their own universe mode, and I don't know. Universe mode for me just never really clicked like that. The only year I ever did was WWE 12 because it actually felt unpredictable. You know, there were so many cutscenes and stuff happening. But now universe mode to me just a glorified exhibition mode.
basically. I mean, are there even any cutscenes? Like, I can't even
I don't think so.
remember.
I don't think so at all. No.
No, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna create my Raw card and my SmackDown card, and then we're gonna wrestle all these good matches. You know, we're gonna do like Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt for the United States Championship or something like that, and just have like Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in the main event. And then what? I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
what do you want me to do? Like I have to like create my own stories in my head and stuff because you're not giving me cutscenes. So I gotta like do my own commentary and just make my own stories up, which I know some people love doing, but I just want to sit back and just play random storylines. Like I know that's a thing that we keep bringing up, but to me that was the best way to play. Like to me, wrestling games growing up were playing with friends and doing stupid matches, or just playing season mode and obviously general manager mode. But even as a kid, I didn't really play too many random exhibition matches. Like yeah, a little bit, but most of the fun I had was in modes like GM mode and season mode.
Absolutely. And is that kind of like the way WWE games are presented? I just thought about this as we're talking. Like, is that kind of like a reflection of the in-ring product that is WWE now? Where literally Raw and SmackDown is just like, oh, here's a bunch of matches. There's no real like in-depth storylines that us as viewers can sink our teeth into. Just like, here's matches for 3 hours. Okay, have fun. Like, is that kind of leaked into the game, to the games as well?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, honestly, yeah. Another thing is about the games is because it's so simulation based, everything just feels so try hard. If you know what I mean, like you would say you just want to chill and you just want to play a regular match, like say you want to do like Rey Mysterio versus Jeff Hardy, right? You start up the game, and why I don't want to see them chain wrestle for the first 2 minutes. I don't want them to get tired after like 5 minutes. It's a video game. Let me just play. Let me just have like fun. Let me just chill. Instead, I'm out here recreating a match that I would see on TV. You know what I mean? Like doing like
Facts.
rest holds and stuff, and targeting the limbs. Bro, it's a video game. Let me jump off ladders and shit. Let me run around with ladders and place them wherever I want. Let me just do whatever I want. Like that's where I think it really just fell off, is that 2K became a simulation game for something that's not even a sport. Like at the end of the day, wrestling is fake. Why are we trying to simulate choreographed matches? Let me do stuff that I probably can do in real life. I think that's the fun. Because to me, when I play video games as a wrestling, what I want to do is like I want it to be like I'm playing with my action figures. And I can just do whatever I want. I don't want to simulate a TV match, bro. Who wants to simulate doing headlocks and shit?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and the matches aren't that exciting that you watch on TV. So it's like, what am I gonna play? Yeah,
Bro, every
I
match is the same. It's a suicide dive because everyone does one now. Apparently, you know what I mean. Like I
yeah.
don't know. It's just I don't know. That's the thing that pisses me off about 2K games is it's a game. Why is like I talked about this in my 2K17 video. You do the F5 and it just feels like every other move. It's slow. It's just there. But when we were growing up, you do the F5 and here comes the pain, bro. It looked like your game was gonna have a seizure because like the rings bouncing, the wrestler just got killed. I don't know.
No, you're
They're trying so hard to make it look like the television. But if we wanted to look like the television, we would just watch television. Why would we play the game? Like I don't know if I said this in a video or not, but we play wrestling games to play wrestling games, not to play like Gran Turismo, like a simulation of wrestling.
yeah. I think you. I mean, you pretty much hit it on the nail on the head. I mean, all those factors you talked about, the universe mode, the simulation gameplay style. I think it's, I mean, 2K really is like they've kind of killed wrestling games, and I'm curious to see what they do with 2K22. Do you like? I know you said you don't have any high hopes for 2K22, so you're pretty much just expecting like a slightly improved version of
Probably,
2K19.
yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like 2K19. Here you go. Maybe they'll add GM mode to get on the good graces of people, but yeah, like because the only realistically, I don't even know how they would save this. I don't know. Like, do they just delete everything and start from scratch? Like, I don't know. But that's the thing. They kind of dug themselves into a grave. Is like you invest so much and you make your game simulation. It's kind of hard to go back to how 2K14 was. It's probably impossible to do. They can't just totally change everything. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of
Yep.
gameplay that I enjoyed. Was like, oh, let's just play a Money in the Bank ladder match. Let's just have RVD jump off a ladder through like
Yeah,
three
who
and
needs stamina? I don't want stamina. What stamina, bro? Like,
yeah,
I don't want my wrestlers to get tired. That's the thing. Like, I get it. Sometimes it is fun. You have a classic one-on-one match. Like, say you're doing like Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, and I love the realism feature sometimes when you do a sweet chin music, and you know how like Shawn will like fall over and he'll like slowly get over there. I love it. It's cool. But does every single match need to be like that? There should literally just be like a toggle on like if you want the match to be an arcade match or do you want it to be a simulation match.
yeah. Oh, that would be perfect,
That would
actually.
be perfect. That way, like if I am playing universe mode, I can do my Jeff Hardy versus RVD, and they're all cracked out, jumping off ladders, no stamina, just killing each other. And then when I want to have my 30-minute Triple H boring ass main event where they just do rest holds for 30 minutes, I can do it. But give me the option. Instead, it's like no, every match you play is gonna simulate real life.
Yeah, that I guess player empowerment, that's a pretty big thing that hopefully we get with WWE 2K22, but I realistically don't see that. But there is another game on the horizon. AEW is going to release a game, and yeah, they've contracted Ukes. They've got some different developers. They promised. Cody Rhodes went on record saying a No Mercy style video game. That's a quote directly from Cody Rhodes. What are you? Where are your thoughts? Like, where are you at with the AEW game?
I think I don't even watch AEW. I'm gonna be honest, but I really think that game could be something special, just because you kind of have Ukes back at it, and they know what works. You know what I mean? They know how to get stuff done. They were the ones out there making the SmackDown games back in the day, right? So they have all this experience, all this history, and the thing is, you have like Cody Rhodes and people in AEW like Kenny Omega who know what they want in a video game. They're kind of a part of the video game culture. Whereas 2K or whatever, they're just kind of like just doing what they get told to do or what WWE expects of them. I think the game could be really special. I really do, because AEW knows that at this point that if they make a fire wrestling game, that is a crazy way to get more viewers for AEW, get more fans, and like it's the perfect opportunity because they know the market is kind of dead for wrestling games right now. If they make a fire game, it's they will get so many new viewers and fans and like people actually invested in the product. It could be a big thing for them, and I think it'll be good because I think they know how much of an opportunity they have. I don't think they're taking it lightly because if they were, they probably just would have. They wouldn't even hired you. They would have just went to some random developer, just like poured out a game for no reason. But it seems like they're doing the right thing. And yeah, the graphics looked really, really interesting. You know what I mean? But yo, I can't really blame them because at the end of the day, 2K14 looking back looked pretty stupid as well. You know what I mean?
Very true. That's very true. The graphics were not that high quality on 2K14 in some of the first trailers.
Yeah, but yo, when you press the X button to grapple, it felt right. You know what I mean? So that's all that really matters. As long as the gameplay is fire and it's different, I'm down. And I think they'll do a good job on it because I know, because like I said, I think they know that they have a lot riding on this, and this could change everything. Because I don't watch AEW, but if they have a fire game and like I get invested in it, I'm more likely to watch AEW on like a pay per view or something, or maybe tune in, right? So I have high hopes for it. I think they'll do good, especially because people in the company are such nerds anyway.
Yeah, I mean, one of their main employees, like, or their referee, I'm sorry, is like a former video game developer. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think is that's kind of like the last hope. I think is AEW game. It's like I don't have a lot of stock invested in WWE 2K22. I know you don't either. But really, realistically, the AEW game is probably like our final hope, unless some other wrestling company just comes out of nowhere and they make a game. But
AEW definitely, because one thing that their roster is going to be good too, right? They have like Jericho and stuff, and they have legends signed with them like Sting and like Arn Anderson. I really think they could pull off something amazing.
absolutely. But yeah, bro, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Thank you for doing this video, man. I really appreciate it.
I just want to say, thank you for having me. I know this video was more like a podcast, like a conversation of me and you just talking, but I hope your viewers like it. And yeah, I'm WrestlinGifs. If you guys don't know me, just watch my videos if you want. I'm a pretty chill guy. But once again, man, thank you for the platform. Thank you for always supporting me. I see you and your homies always shouting me out on Twitter and sending good words and stuff. It means a lot. I always see it. But yeah, thank you for having me, bro. It means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about platform. Thank you for doing this, man. Like, you're talking about the platform that you're giving me here by just appearing on my channel. And yeah, I mean, that's awesome. It's cool of you to do this, bro. It really is.
No worries, man. I'll see you soon. Don't worry. We can do another collab one day eventually.
Awesome. And yeah, if anybody out there, if you don't watch Wrestling Gives videos, I'm sure all my audience does, but if you don't for whatever reason, like, check out his channel.